Good evening. Welcome to a very special edition of the Nightly Narrative. Tonight, we bring you a breaking story with haunting revelations, ones that are sure to send shockwaves through the world of motorsports and beyond. Dale Earnhardt Sr., a name synonymous with speed, dominance, and legacy, a man who secured 7 championships, solidifying his place in racing history, an icon revered by millions. He wasn't just a driver, he was the Intimidator. But now, 24 years after his tragic passing, the Nightly Narrative has uncovered something that changes everything. Documents obtained in our investigation reveal that Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s name appears 39 times on the flight logs of Jeffrey Epstein. 39 times. With no clear explanations, our quest for the truth took us deep into an investigation, one that led us down a path darker than we could ever have imagined. We must warn viewers at home that some of the subject matter in tonight's episode contains disturbing themes and language related to child sex trafficking, so viewer discretion is advised. February 18th, 2001, 205 days before nearly 3,000 lives were lost in the attacks on Manhattan. Dale Earnhardt Sr., one of the most celebrated figures in NASCAR history, was killed at the age of 49 in a last lap crash at the 43rd Daytona 500.
I hope Dale's okay. I guess he's all right, isn't he?
You okay? You okay?
A legend, a man who built his legacy turning left at 200 miles per hour for a living. And on that fateful day, he died doing what he loved most, driving in a car in circles about 300 times in a row. Despite tons of roaring fans now gasping in shock, no one was more upset that day in the stands than Jeffrey Epstein, who the Nightly Narrative has learned that in his own personal writings referred to Dale as Prospect Number 1. Why would the number 3 be Prospect Number 1? Well, the Nightly Narrative was about to get its first clue. Now, one of the first leads that we got on this story was from a phone call. The lady said that she had taken Epstein to court for his abuse and crimes for sex trafficking. She remained anonymous in court because of the nature of the heinous crimes. And here at the Nightly Narrative, we're going to protect Susan's identity too. She got on a boat to see me in Pyongyang, and we sat down and had the following interview. Thank you for doing this interview, coming all the way to Pyongyang by boat. I know you said that planes give you trauma or something. I don't remember. But tell me more about what you think may have been happening between Dale and Jeff.
Jeff was obsessed with eugenics. He wanted the best everything. Intelligence, genetics, performance. So when it comes to finding the best driver, he went and tried to get the best driver, Dale. He probably bribed Dale, probably put Dale in situations he couldn't get out of.
He would bribe them? What do you mean?
Well, any time that he was mad at Bill Clinton, he would essentially throw me in front of him so I could F his and then do on his bank and then until he
would. The Nightly Narrative is brought to you in part by the City of Bluffington's Bluffington Ad Council. My name is Doug Funny. I'm from Bluffington. 49 years old. I am addicted to fentanyl. A dialogue with your children. This ad is brought to you by the Bluffington Ad Council and the Roger Klutz Foundation. The Jane Doe interview gave us something to ponder. Did Epstein want the DNA of the best driver in the world? If Dale felt trapped like she suggested, was that fateful Daytona day a cry for help from Dale? Or ultimately, an accident that took a fatal turn? We end tonight's special not knowing enough to draw conclusions. And if any findings come our way, we'll be sure to let you, the viewers at home, know. We thought it would be best to end tonight's segment sitting down with Jasper Bruce, Dale Earnhardt's #1 biggest fan. But he insists you call him Bruce Jasper. Here's that interview. Thank you for joining us, Jasper. This must be a difficult time for you. Take us back to the start of your fandom for Dale.
Well, I'm from Mecklenburg County, which is about 3 hours to Myrtle Beach Speedway, and me and my pa would go every weekend to watch the short track racing. Well, there's a new driver. He's from Rowan County, right by Mint Hill, where I'm from, and he's kicking everybody's butt. That new racer was Dale Earnhardt.
So you've been following Dale before the fame.
I've seen Dale driving a 2 car. I've seen Dale driving the 8 car, the 98 car, 77 car, 96 car, 15 car, 19 and 30 car, and of course, that damn 3 car.
Some fans and analysts claim that Kenny Schrader is responsible for Dale's death. What do you say?
Well, I don't eat peanut M&Ms no more, I'll tell you that. Some say Kenny was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I'm just a nobody fan. But every fan knows and every driver knows you don't trade paint like that going into a turn. Not in stock car racing anyway.
Followed the career of Dale Earnhardt for decades. Take us to where your head was at when the photos leaked.
It's bad. I mean,
you, as someone who idolized Dale, what do you think this revelation means for his legacy?
I'd say that, remember, people are complex, and heroes that we have and people we look up to are going to have flaws.
Considering both men are now deceased, does any of this really even matter?
That's a tough question. I mean, in some ways, yeah, it matters.
Does it leave a stain?
Yes, it does. It leaves a stain on Dale. It leaves a stain on NASCAR. Probably a stain on a kid's butthole. So Dale's not here to tell his side of the story.
Anything else you want to say?
Don't forget all the joy that Dale brought you when he was on that track, and all that joy he brought into your life when he was just driving so fast in his car, being the intimidator that he was. Just remember those good times.
That does it for tonight's episode of The Nightly Narrative, hosted by Frank Stankonia. Commercial considerations by Bluffington Ad Council. Doug, you really fucking let yourself go, buddy. Patty mayonnaise wasn't even hot.